There you go. There you go. Welcome to Football with Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading that love right across the big bad world of ours. Now, Mr. Tom, let's introduce our guest first. Mr. Tom, how are you, my friend?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for helping me out tonight, guys. I do apologies. Yeah, apologies. I know that it's been a few weeks. I haven't done a live show. I'll be completely honest with you. There's no way, no reason for me to blag it. I am been feeling good. I am been feeling good. But many thanks for well wishes. Probably about a month, Tom, isn't it? About a month, I think.
It's roughly that. It's roughly.
Yeah. So, I just had a lapse, I think, or relapse, whatever you want to call it. It was 6 months. It started a couple of 6 months, which would have been. I'd tell you when it was. It was a day before the 6-month anniversary, so it would have been the 25th or something of April, and I was going to do something good to celebrate 6 months, but then the day before I had someone who was still waiting for his court appearance on the phone, and it killed me, if I'm honest with you, and it killed me for weeks later. Anyway, we're back on StreamYard. I think Mr. Tom is very happy about it. I am very happy about it.
I was literally going to say, when you said thank you for joining me, I was thinking, no, thank you for picking a platform that my equipment actually works on.
And well, to be honest, it just dawned on me, to be honest. Come on, let's try StreamYard. And then, so I logged into my old account, which I haven't been on here since 2021. And all of a sudden, we got the old background, the old spaceship kind of background. And so I hope you guys remember it all. For the people who remember the channel. Anyway, right, we've completely forgot about all the missing football, really. Tom, as a Leeds fan, you're in the final.
One to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a real tough one, Southampton. Guys in the chat, what do you think? Leeds or Southampton for a playoff final?
I can tell you they're real confident. They have every reason to be confident. They've beat us twice. But in all fairness, the second game they beat us is barely a football match. And they'd say the same if it was, because the reality is that was a dead rubber, because Ipswich had gone 1-0 up in the game. So I'm not sour grapes or anything, just the reality is that Leeds vs Southampton match in game 46 of the season had all the atmosphere of a funeral.
Yeah.
So, plus, if the Leeds team that, with respect, dismantled the absolute shite out of Norwich turns up at Wembley, we're in with every chance.
Yeah. Let's have a look in the chat. I know the chat has been going for quite a while before I started. Or before we started, sorry. And Esther was the first one in here. And he is right. Please hit like and subscribe if you're new. We put the new numbers up now, and I'll tell you about the numbers. Stefan says, it is better playing Brownie. Thanks, Stefan. Paul is in the chat. Hi, Paul. I did mention in the chat as well, I was up your neck of the woods last week. Did message you. I don't know if did you have my Facebook Messenger message? If I was professional as ever, yeah, I know. I was just testing a few things out. I hope you guys like the beginning of the video. Finally, I can get. It's just easier for me. I think it's old age, really. It really much easier. Also as well, guys, I don't know how to pin it, but yeah, the old channel merch. Right, I'll give you, and Mr. Tom can absolutely confirm this. Right, when I first started the channel back up, I had a YouTube hit. So it was 3 months before I could have any monetization. Now I spoke to Tom, and guys who remember, listen, when Nathan was helping me out, I'd give Nathan 50% of whatever come my way because he was helping me out on a live chat. I spoke to Tom. I said, Tom, listen, the end of the YouTube ban is going to be in 5 days' time. So we continue with his live shows, and I'll give him 50% of whatever the show makes. It's hardly anything, but it's just a common decency, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll have a chat about it. Right, 4 days ago, we're 1 day short of the YouTube ban coming out, and all of a sudden, YouTube hit me with another 3-month ban. It hit me with another 3-month ban, and this is the thing, you see. Facebook allowed this. I don't know, guys, if anyone on the Facebook page, there was a video short of, it was women's football, and it's one bump. Now, Facebook allowed it, but YouTube hit me with a community ban. Bang, another 3 months. So, going back to this, guys, if the merch, please check it out, yeah? Unbelievable. BX Gunner in the house. Hi, BX, hope you're well.
I mean, you should probably include the part where I said I would do this for free.
I know, hey, I know, but I did say no, we'll have a chat because
you did say that.
I would not have accepted that to do it for you. You know that, and I know that. You know what I mean? It's hard work, and it's even harder now. The way I am these days. I hated doing live shows on my own before. The guys will tell you in the chat. But Tom, listen, the way I am, it makes it even harder for me to do it on my own now. And I'm ever so grateful for your help. So I would have refused. Okay. Ethan's in the house. Ethan, Arsenal fought to the end. I'm. You know what, Tom? Let's have a chat about it. The guys in the chat can help us out as well. Do you think this 115 is really tainting City now?
Yeah, because it's making football boring. It's made the Premier League boring. I know it's easy for me to say that because the team's currently not in it, and it may change this Sunday. Emphasis on the may. But at the same token, and people are fine to disagree with it, as always, but I just feel like it's routine, predictable. I think the Premier League trades on the fact that because Leicester won it, they can get away with saying that anything can happen, which is categorically not true.
Yeah.
But because it did happen one time, they now get to say, oh, our league, anything can happen. In the other league, you get Bayern Munich win it 10 years in a row, or Real Madrid, or Barcelona, or Juventus, or whatever. But in our league, you can get the 10,000 to 1 Leicester win the Premier League. It's like, yeah. But then the other teams then spent even more money to ensure that never happens again.
Yeah. I think oh my God. I think the Premier League really need to get a house in order. I really do think that. I'm not one, and people know me from many years ago, I'm not one for, I've never had a socialist mindset, if I'm honest with you. I've never liked government coming in and sorting things out. But when it comes to the Premier League now, I think it's like a snake and it starts eating themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And it's got to
not
a
our game
point
anymore.
now where they back themselves into a corner because they have, they have fucked up so much in the eyes of the, let's call it what they call it. They don't call us supporters, they call us customers. So in the eyes of the customers, they've let themselves up so much, so they back themselves into a corner, and there's no getting out of it now. Richard Masters can say whatever he wants. You can attend Arsenal games instead of giving the trophy to the to the champions, however many times he wants. But it's predictable. Yes, you're right on that. But there's a reason why it's predictable. It's because the Premier League have allowed Manchester City to, in their eyes, because let's be honest, in their eyes, because it's the Premier League, not me, not you. It's the Premier League who have charged them, and the Premier League are now parading them as their champions. Well, hang fucking on, you know.
What I find fascinating about it, and again, like most things I say, can be wrong. I probably am, but I feel like there's a Man City have a very like they're sticking their finger up at the system, like, oh, we won your league 4 years in a row. It's like, yeah, well done. You really stuck it to the Premier League. You stuck it to the lawmakers of football with your £2 billion bank account. Your manager's got an offshore account, probably in his dog's name or whatever. Like, oh, you really stuck it to football.
Yeah.
Well done. Just, on grass, you're the best team, but you should be. The one thing I will give Manchester City above everyone else in football is they have the most money. They spent, well, no, Newcastle have now got the most money, which again begs another question. Why are teams all now happy to be like, oh, the big cartel, and it was a cartel, are basically like, oh, maybe we should take a look at the football laws on spending and stuff like this, because Newcastle have got even more money than them. So they're getting pushed out even further. But
That's right. That's right. And what I found, well, I say equally, what I found interesting but also bizarre, and guys in the chat, if you found this, then let me know, right? I found it quite bizarre, really, I suppose. But the media loving was promoting Pep and Manchester City as the champions, 4 years on the bounce. No other club have done it, blah, 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 blah. But yet, it kind of like, we're trying to cover up that there is an issue regarding the 115. Talksport, apart from, in all fairness, people don't like him. Many people don't like him. He is a bit of Marmite character. But apart from Simon Jordan, who will say what, every other presenter on that, and that goes right from the start. They didn't want to talk about the 115. At one point, I was so irate, I rang Talksport in myself. Okay, and they went to the producer, whoever answered the phone.
they let you on.
And I said, look, why aren't you guys talking about the 115? Is it in your best interest not to talk so that you get Man City fans calling up, generating income and revenue and so on? I'll ask the people in the studio. We'll get back to you. Do you know what I mean? It's. I don't know, Tom. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned.
I give them one bit of credit, mate. They spend the money well. They get in the right people. They make the right decisions, because Chelsea and to an extent, Manchester United have shown what actually can happen if you don't spend the money well and if you don't have the right people. So, like, I know we all say, and like Stefan here has put out, who's got the most May wins for ages. That is true. That is true in the broad scheme of it. But Man City have proven that you have to do things with it and you have to make the correct moves. And Man City do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, Man City now. Let me just close this window 1 second. Right, that's better. Sorry, guys. Right, but but the thing is, Man City now. Oh yeah, they are all FFP bloody. But it it goes back. The 115 charges go back to what? 2011, 2012, and payments and financial issues went from that season all the way to 2018, 2019. You can't hide away from the fact, and I'm sorry, but I hated Man United being so good back in the day. But when it comes to comparing, everyone was on the same level back then, and Man United, just took it financially. Everyone could spend whatever they want, but now there's a limit. And back in 2011, 2012, there was a limit. Everyone else played by the limit, apart from Man City. And years later, they are a team now which are too good for everybody. It's basically created by a financial beach of quicksand.
Brownie, they are the footballing equivalent of the bully in the schoolyard that holds the midget at arm's length, just enough so they can't reach them with the swipe. Because they never blow the league away. Like, they don't win the title by 20 points. They always tend to win it by 1 point or 2 points or whatever. Basically, they go, okay, Arsenal, let's see what you've got. And then Arsenal go, right, we have 89 points, to which then Man City go, very good, we'll get 91. And they'll get it.
And this boils down to Klopp. Now, I know, people, Liverpool Football Club, people like Marmite to many people, but this then carried on into the argument about Klopp, and you hear in the media a lot lately. Is Klopp one of the Premier League's greatest? And many people who have an agenda would say, no. He's only won one Premier League. He's only won. He's not one of the greatest because he's only won one Premier League. Well, if you look at the dates in which these, alleged charges were done, he would have won 4 Premier Leagues because 3 of them they come second on 2 occasions by 1 point, I think. So listen, if what I think should be done in years to come, it'd be stripped. The titles will be stripped. But we know from like Italy, and we know from the Champions League, I still remember Marseille and their fans being so joyous when they won the Champions League that one time. But then years later, because of Bernard Tapie, the owner back then, they had that Champions League stripped of them. But their fans had that moment. Their fans had that moment of celebratory. The club had that moment. Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Man United fans, and whoever else finished second during this fucking period, they can't lose. They can't have that celebratory moment, which has been allegedly stolen from them because Man City have basically being the great time robbers. Do you agree? Let's go on the chat. Let's go on the chat as well. I know I left a few people out. Sorry, people. Jamie in the house. Hi, Jamie. Hope you're well. Right. Let's be honest. Whoever comes, I don't think that's right, Tom.
I think I personally think the bottom half of the Premier League is a bit of a crapshoot. You're never too far. You're only a couple wins away from getting 14th. But to be fair, what I will say, I'll give this comment credence. Like, I don't outright say it's bollocks because I can see why it's being said. But the reality is that there's no accident. Ethan's right. The gap is huge, but it's no accident that so many teams underperformed this year, and no one really got sacked because deep down everyone knew that 3 that went down were going down, even with points deductions. They knew. Why do you think Everton and Nottingham Forest didn't really contest the points? Because they were like, we only need to get 5 wins. Or, not exactly 5, but the point is they were like, all right, so they said they'll take 8 points off of us, or whatever it is. There was no fear, really. And that's why they didn't even appeal it in the end in the final week, because they didn't want to risk it being even worse than what they were already given.
Yeah.
Because what they were given made them safe.
Yeah.
Like, they needed Luton needed a 12-goal swing in the final week to survive. If Nottingham Forest went to court, it might not have been that. But it's what it is.
I mean, many people thought Burnley would be the team to look out for out of the ones which come up, and they were nowhere near safety, if I'm honest with you. It was, as the season went on, everyone was thinking, well, the only one could be Luton, but I think Leicester. I think Leicester will stay up. I think they're strong enough to stay up. Defensively, a bit. You know what I mean? But I know that phrase isn't really true half the time. Where too good to go down. But when you look at Leicester, what do you think?
That Leicester team went down.
I know.
Obviously, if my team gets
went on an amazing run. Yeah. Moss is in the house. Hi, Moss. Hope you're well. Please check out Moss Sports World as well. Check out Video Gaming as well if you're into your gaming. Did Leeds peak against the Budgies?
I hope not.
Well, you never know.
I personally feel we need to come out at Wembley and not play like a team that's afraid of being at Wembley. And we need to punch Southampton in the face. We need to punch them in the face early, like we did to Norwich. Norwich were finished within 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I know at the time that would seem like an arrogant statement to make, but in hindsight, it's true. During the actual game, I was sat there like, basically, when Norwich at 2-0 up, when Norwich Josh Sargent went through 1-on-1, I needed new pants.
Well, Moss actually says, what does he say? He did sub through Moss Gaming. He's going to sub from his other account, which actually brings me on to the figures. Guys, I know that we haven't been live for a few weeks, but YouTube figures, we're 42 away from 9K YouTube. Facebook likes over 2,000. Facebook followers over 10,000. And so honored, to be quite honest with you. I think it's because it's a general football channel, not just focusing on just a single team. I think it then attracts fans from all clubs, which is a good thing in my opinion. But also as well, Facebook
Were
has.
they amazing at Leicester, Stefan?
Well, Facebook have allowed the channel to be part monetized, and I had a first payment today, which I see Stefan did comment on it because I did, but yeah, it was what, 500 quid, I think it was, through Facebook.
500 quid more than any of us.
I know. So you know, it was enough for. It's probably enough for a stripper after the show, or a brass maybe. Maybe a brass. I hope she's not watching. But then again, she should be on a flight back to Russia. You know, so I won't see her until my birthday in a few weeks. But anyway, Twitter and Instagram. I know they're low figures, guys. But that's only because I've had to set up new accounts on them. But all the details are below, please, on the ticker bar below. Many thanks, Moss, for giving me the giving me the heads up to do that. Okay, where are we? Oh, sorry. I need a new computer as well. I need a new laptop.
You can get one with your £500.
Well, not with a bloody girlfriend like me at the moment. Anyway, yeah. So at least we can paid from bloody Facebook. This is the first time as well. It's gone live on Facebook, also live on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to. Mr. Bundle's in the house.
I ain't seen him for a long time. Hello, Bungle. Mr. Bungle. Sorry, rude of me.
Paul says the 115 gets swept under the carpet. Too much for Premier League. I think, you know what? I agree. And something was mentioned on Twitter yesterday. I think from a Man City account. If I remembered it earlier, I would have put it up. But it says that the British Embassy. Oh yeah, the British Embassy in the UAE. Now, who's had fucking dealings with them almost every day for 17 months? But never mind, that's another thing, right? The British Embassy and you know what? I hope this is clipped. I hope this is fucking shared because what I'm going to tell you is exactly what happened. But the British Embassy in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, have confirmed they have had talks, they have held talks with the UAE officials about the 115. Remember, Man City are owned by Abu Dhabi. Okay? Now, there were many comments which said, oh, well, it's because, Britain will get out of it, financially, the Premier League will have government help to hush it up now. But I can tell you from my dealings, yeah, that it's not a conspiracy that they haven't told anybody about what was said during the talks. I can literally confirm the British Embassy never even told me about what was actually stated in the complaint which the Foreign and Commonwealth Office put to the UAE government of my torture. And they never even told me exactly what was said in there. So, listen, if you don't tell me what was said in a complaint about my own torture, right, then what's the likelihood that they'll tell Joe Blogs about the talks they had about Man City's 115? So it's not a conspiracy. That's just red tape and government conversations there.
So realistically, like if you was put on the spot, and I know you're not a lawyer or like a legal expert on the situation, but what is your inkling on what will actually happen?
My inkling is that I think there'll be an agreement out. There'll be an agreement. A settlement. Realistically, we have to remember, and this is why the British government are probably involved. We're talking corporate fraud here, because we're talking about payments which were not showed in the books of a company. Now, if that was my company, your company, or anybody else's company, we would be in problems. We'd probably be banged up for a few years for committing fraud. And this is why it's not just a Premier League issue. For corporate fraud, you're talking government issues. And that is why these talks between UAE officials and officials at British Embassy over there, that's probably why it happened. It's not about the Premier League. This is about government. And it's corporate fraud. Now, what I want and what I think should happen is that strip the titles and done very much like what Rangers had to do, and got back up the leagues. But what I think it'll be a settlement. It'll be a settlement which may not be liked by the majority of people. Let's just say.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst idea if they did do a demotion to promote even the team that loses the championship playoff final on Sunday. I just make it so both teams get promoted and everyone gets to be happy.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I do agree with what Simon Jordan says. Listen, Nottingham Forest, Everton, there was just one issue on their cases. That's why it's quicker. Unfortunately, the Premier League has allowed all these issues build up to 115. Okay, and so they have to defend every single one. Man City's been kicking the can down, or calling, claiming that there's a couple of Arsenal fans on the panel who would be hearing it, so they want the people changed. Yeah. But let's be honest. I mean, if it started in autumn, which is claimed what it's going to do, it starts in autumn. It'll finish maybe spring 2000 and what are we on 2020, probably spring 2025. Yeah. Then you'll have the appeal. Then you'll have a second appeal. Simon Jordan claims the actual result of this won't be finalized until about 2027, 2028, after all the appeals and everything else.
Yeah.
And he'd probably bang on. Realistically, he'd probably bang on. Sorry, guys. I know that I'm jumping down a bit because I'm just so excited that I'm on freaking StreamYard and we fucking knocking this live stream for 10 out the fucking cricket ground and out the cricket. Well, 6 and a 4, wouldn't it?
I told you for like the last 5 months, Brownie. I was like, just give StreamYard a try. It's so much easier.
I know, and I hope people are enjoying it as well. I hope people are enjoying a happy brownie. Anyway, Club 10 Greatest. Yeah. Hi, Chris Nicks. Hope you're well, my friend. Are you in UK or are you in Cyprus? BX. City fucked football. I'm jumping
tell you
down.
what fucked football. In my opinion, what fucked football was the day that the government went, "Oh, Mr. Abramovich, yeah, I see nothing wrong with him buying Chelsea from Ken Bates. That's a great idea." That's what actually fucked football, because that was the floodgates opening. In
7, obviously, happy Ipswich went big pissed off. I know what the A7. I know what it's like being a Cardiff fan. You went up but I'm glad my man Kiefer Moore helped you guys get up there. Kiefer Moore, I know Tom, didn't know me back then, but Kiefer Moore was my man when he was at Cardiff City. I was so happy for him. He had his opportunity at Bournemouth. Didn't really work out. Went back to Ipswich, which pissed a lot of Cardiff fans off. He went back to Ipswich on loan in January. When people thought he was bang on coming back to Cardiff, he went back to Ipswich, where he didn't score a single goal during his first stint at Ipswich, and he dragged that team through the playoffs. A brilliant guy. Because Kiefer Moore, his defensive ability is just as good as goal scoring ability, especially with that height. Hope you go. Well, I'll negotiate. I'll negotiate a price for her. I'll negotiate the price. See if she takes any crypto. You see that? No. She's not pussy. She fucking misses. Jesus. Thank God she's in here. Thank God she's in the fucking plane at the moment. That's for sure. She watches this. She'll have my fucking neck. Putin will fucking be ringing me up. Right, here we go. This is it. Right, McKenna should definitely jump ship at Brighton job. What do you think of McKenna, mate? What do you think of Ipswich boss McKenna? And what should he do?
In all truth, I suspect he should take any job that's offered to him from the right. And I know Stefan's immediately reaching for the knives. Like, of course you want him to go because he led my team to promotion over your team. Like, I'm like, well, yeah, that's partly it, but also the logical sentiment of it is Ipswich might have no wins by November, and then what jobs are who's going to be looking at him? Yeah. I say that. Hang on. I say that knowing that Vincent Kompany's just been offered his reward for being relegated for Burnley is now he's going to get to be the Bayern Munich manager.
Yeah, no, we'll get on to that now. McKenna turned down, if people can remember, he actually turned down Crystal Palace job a few months ago because the statement he put out, or it may have been through his agent or something, was that he wanted to see it through. He wanted to see the season through with Ipswich. Now the season is finished, and
yeah,
I know the Chelsea job would come up. I wouldn't entertain that.
We need to think about. No, we think about it twice. Of course, I'd take the Chelsea job.
Because... No, I think career-wise, I think Brighton is the better stepping stone. I think Chelsea job, you could end up like Potter, if and who's gone into no man's land after 6 months of Chelsea or something. The United job could be an interesting one because he was at United for a few years, assistant to Solskjaer, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that's going to be that's a project, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, I hate that club, but that could, to a new face coming in or an old face coming in from the cold, would be an exciting project, like with the new owner and the investment and things like this.
But you know what United players are like? United players will throw every single freaking manager under the bus as they have done ever since Mourinho. And it is right what certain United YouTubers do say, right? It's the same players from Mourinho and threw him under the bus. Ole didn't like him, threw under the bus in the end.
Oh, they always throw a manager under the bus.
Raniak. But, these couple of same players.
Oh, they'll throw him under the bus too.
Yes.
I'm not saying McKenna's not Teflon in this.
I think a sensible option would be Brighton if
I know the reason I'll say I won't think twice about Chelsea is because potentially you do 4 months work, you get £10 million to fuck off, pardon my language, and then basically you just sit around until maybe Crystal Palace would probably give you a chance at some point. I don't know,
Stephen
but
says Ipswich have had new investment. They have open talks as well. I did read, whether it's true or not, you never know in its season, but I did read that they are expecting an inquiry from Brighton in the next 24 hours, or 48 hours, so they've opened talks with an improved contract for McKenna.
McKenna's turned that down.
Oh, right, okay.
McKenna has said he doesn't want to sign a new contract.
Right, Paul, Redrum Gaming. But right, we'll talk about this because it actually includes one of my friends. No, he's definitely not a friend. But anyway, it actually does involve one of my former neighbors. Let's just say, former neighbor, I suppose. Okay, buying closing on a deal to appoint company as new head coach. Gentlemen, company accepted a buying job after the first call revealed on Monday. He's ready for a new chapter. What's your?
I think it's laughable. I think it's an indictment that Harry Kane has been at Bayern for 1 year. Not only have they not won a trophy for the first time in a decade, they now actually have to raid the championship for a manager.
But Bayern, they haven't always gone for the best manager out there. But was it Lovitz? Was it Lovitz or something? He only lasted about 6 months. Volic or I don't know, some Serbian guy or something.
Yeah.
They haven't always gone for the best man. Sometimes they've gone for the best manager, I suppose, in the Bundesliga.
Well, they go in-house, don't they, usually? They go... Basically, I imagine they've basically shopped it around, like, are you interested? Are you interested? No one who's actually in the organisation wants to move from their current role to take this, I suspect. So then they've gone, Tuchel, do you fancy, like, not leaving? Do you fancy, like, coming back, sort of thing? And he's like, nope. They've asked a few others. Like, I'm surprised they're not in for Pochettino, personally, now that he's available.
I thought, you know what, before this was announced earlier on, I was actually looking at the odds for Pochettino because I didn't realise Pochettino actually spoke German as well. And he was second favourite. But also, when I mentioned, my neighbour, Craig Bellamy, he's going with him. He's going with him as his assistant. Now, they were both, Company and Bellamy as assistant were at Anderlecht together as well, weren't they? I don't know if they won the Belgian league then, though. I don't think they did.
They definitely did not.
No.
I don't think they did that well, actually, because if I remember rightly, they had to finagle some of the rules because he didn't have the UEFA Pro license. So it turned out that Vincent Kompany was not actually allowed to manage top flight games. So they had to basically demote him. Although he was picking the team and that, he legally could not stand on the touchline as the manager.
I got you. Stefan says too much player power, Man United at Old Toilet. Yeah, that's always been the case. Moss, let's go tractors by Eddie. Yeah, that's right, Ethan. Same old manager. It's only so much a manager can do as a sack a manager. Nowadays, it's cheaper to sack a manager than to sack players, I suppose, or get rid of. If you give players, this isn't, and it's one of my pet hates now of YouTube and social media. If a club gives a player a 5-year contract or a 4-year contract, and after 1 year, he's fucking shit. This isn't a game of FIFA. This isn't a game of fucking Football Manager where I can press a button and I'll sell him. Listen, a player, we've spoken about this many times, Tom. Player can just say, no, I'm not moving. I'm running my contract down. You know, that's the kind of jeopardy, I suppose, which is nowadays with contracts. You give too many players big contracts and big money, which they know they'll never get elsewhere. You won't, and even if that player's playing shit, you won't get that player out of a club. And I suppose it's modern management for you.
No, you feel something really interesting because obviously managers accept the sacking because their contract gets paid out. But imagine if you didn't accept the sacking, you went, well, no, results might be bad, but I turn up every day. Like, I'm not in breach of contract, so you can't fire me.
Yes.
Like
wow.
what?
But then you know what?
Whatever.
But then they'll go so much into your background, and they'll find the Dan Ashworth fucking email against you, and then they'll fucking sack you, and they'll cost you for nothing. You know.
I know I'm being facetious with that, but it'd be interesting if someone did that because I remember about 20, 30 years ago, showing my age bit, where like it was you did not want to be sacked as a football manager. It was worse for your career to get sacked. Whereas now you actually want to be sacked because you get paid. Like if you quit, you don't get paid. But if you quit 20 years ago, it was like, oh, you never got sacked. So you could make it like it was like the football manager equivalent of saving face.
Yeah,
It's not a thing
that's
that.
right. That's right.
It's not a thing that. You want to be you
Even
openly
said Bellamy.
I will not quit. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like that in any other job. Even said Bellamy isn't the nicest guys. Let's be honest. Yeah, I know. I can assure you, you wouldn't be having a Bellamy interview on Football Brownie. I can guarantee that would not happen. Hopefully not a neighbour and a slammer. No, no. No. The Curse of Cain. A great company up by and look forward to Xabi Alonso. Leverkusen, Atalanta. Now, Tom, you were my witness. Now, I went for Atalanta. They were 7-2 today. Yeah. And I went for Atalanta simply because I remember as a kid, 1987, my hometown Merthyr Tydfil won the Welsh Cup. And they played Atalanta in the European Cup Winners' Cup. Now, Atalanta lost 4-0 in the final of the Italian Cup against Diego Maradona's Napoli. But because Napoli won the double, they went into the European Cup. So the runners-up of the Italian Cup went into the Cup Winners' Cup back then.
Yep.
The captain, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, Stefan would definitely remember, captain of Atalanta at the time was a Swedish captain, Glenn Stromberg. He had long blonde hair. Now, Sweden weren't good back then, but he was a good player. Do you know what I mean? And, because of his hair, I suppose he was recognisable.
Right.
Okay. But anyway, the first leg at Penydarren Park, Merthyr won 2-1. Now, you were talking a team which at that time would be 7 league. The structure have changed on non-league since. But at the time of game, they were 7 league. So this is not even fucking Vanarama. This is 1 under. This is like Maidstone type of level. Do you know what I mean? And they beat Atalanta 2-1. Unfortunately, and it was a bit of a dubious refereeing decision. Unfortunately, in the second leg, Atalanta won 2-0. But it was a very dodgy refereeing decision, which disallowed a Merthyr goal. But anyway, that's why memories of that game come to me. I thought, you know what? At 7-2, I'll chuck a nifty tenner.
I also backed at Atalanta tonight. Admittedly, not as bravely as you, I did them to lift the trophy. As opposed to outright win the 90 minutes. But still.
Well, because of Leverkusen's previous comebacks,
Yeah.
when Atalanta scored that second goal, we were in the chat of Mr. Arsenal podcast, and when it went 2-0, I think Stefan went to me. I'd cash out at 30. I was only going to win 45 anyway, but it was like half an hour gone when it went 2-0.
Oh, you cashed far too early.
But you know what?
They usually get their first goal in their comeback. Their first goal is usually around the 70-minute mark. Then they pepper the goal, and then they score in like 90 plus 6.
I thought, to be honest, a 2-0 lead is a bit dodgy, And I thought, listen, if they get one goal before halftime, then I could, do you know what I mean? So I played it safe. I took it. The cash out was 30, and I could only have won 45, so it was only lost of 15. But together with the 500, fucking hell, I better get on bloody. I better get on some of these fucking brass websites now. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell.
I was going to say, you can make another £500 if you really want. Record this onto a video camcorder, send it in a Jeremy Beadle, and you get yourself another 500 quid. If it gets on, you've been framed. No, just a thought.
Oh, hang on. Go now. Get in, Brownie, with the PayPal logo. Oh, yeah, the PayPal. Guys, I can't remember my PayPal fucking... Guys, if you want to do a PayPal donation, would really appreciate it. I can't remember my PayPal address. So I can't remember it. This is an old, I haven't used PayPal for years. This is an old background, isn't it? Paul, Potts to United, Company to Bayern, what's that? Marseille to Chelsea, Potter back to Brighton. I don't know that guy to Chelsea. I don't know who you're talking about. Potts to United. What do you think?
I've seen worse ideas, Brownie.
Yeah.
I've seen far
because
worse
Di Marzio, Gianluca Di Marzio, anyone doesn't know him, he's like, if I'm honest with you, he's a Fabrizio Romano. He's a Poundland Fabrizio Romano. Italian reporter. He confirmed today that Ten Hag is going to be sacked. He confirmed that. No one else would confirm it. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't find the confirmation. But by all accounts, he did confirm it this afternoon, and may have took that tweet down. Gianluca Di Marzio. The whole premise of this club is privilege that I play for you. The whole premise of this club is privilege that I play for you pisses me off. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. Cup Winners' Cup is European. Cup Winners' Cup is a European trophy. Well, that's what the majority say. Cup Winners' Cup was a brilliant competition, mate, to be quite honest with you. The Cup Winners' Cup was a brilliant competition. And it made the domestic cups that much valuable because you only had the champions. At that time, you only had the champions going into the European Cup. Not the first four, just the champions. And then you had second, sometimes third, going into the UEFA Cup, and the cup and the FA Cup winners, in England's case, FA Cup winners then going into...
Yeah.
But it made the cup competition so much more valuable to teams because,
Well,
fucking fourth and you end up in a UEFA, in a European Champions Cup. What the hell does that mean,
Well, Brownie and Colonel, the level of prestige of the Cup Winners' Cup is such that it was a big deal when Arsenal won it in 94. It was a big deal when Chelsea won it in 98.
Yeah.
Also, the winner of the Cup Winners' Cup got to play the winner of the Champions League in the UEFA, in the European Super Cup. Not the UEFA Cup. The UEFA Cup was considered the third tier in prestige.
Yeah, that's correct.
I personally always thought the UEFA Cup was more exciting because you did get like you potentially, by the nature of the draw, you could get in the second round Barcelona versus Parma or Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich.
Because you always had the second place team in the league or the third place team in the league in the year.
Yeah.
Or
you could get Norwich versus Bayern Munich.
Yes. Jeremy Goss, bang, hit that volley.
Yeah. But again...
But didn't in all fairness to Stefan, didn't Ipswich win it one year?
I believe they have won a European trophy.
Like 81 or something, or 82, I'm sure. But you are right. For example, you look at La Liga. Only one team would go to the European Cup. Normally Real Madrid. So you had Barcelona going into the UEFA Cup.
Yep.
Atletico going into the UEFA Cup. But do you know what I mean? It made... By making the European Cup stronger, now the Champions League stronger, it's diluted the other competitions dramatically. In both credential and strength, really, in the eyes of people. Seven says, "Don't mention Maidstone." Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't mean it.
No. That's a bit 40 Towers like. That's very John Cleese. Don't mention the war to it. I'd even forgot that happened, but Stefan periodically reminds me it happens. Then I'm like, oh yeah, they lost to a bunch of farmers. And then because I bring it up, he then gets upset that I'll bring it up. He's like, why would even that fucking happened until you mentioned it 24 seconds ago? I'm just saying.
Professional stream. Of course it's a professional. Listen, if this wasn't if this was a professional stream, right? We have never said that it was going to be a professional. If this was a professional stream, I would have calling equipment and I'll dial the brass house live on air. Do you know what I mean? Do you know? Hello. I have to. Can I have a massage with a happy ending? Right.
City's Fair Cup.
What do you fellas think of Sancho, Rashford, Tomori, and Loftus-Cheek not being picked by Southgate? Southgate, yeah, come on. Right, Southgate. As an English person, what do you think, Tom?
I couldn't give any less of a shit. I will say this though. Everyone becomes the expert on international football and the clamour for football, etc. And then the day after England goes out, everyone's like, right, so what's going on with my club? The thing I actually care about. I'll tell you what happened. So 6 years ago, nearly 6 years ago, do you know what happened on the day that Spain drew 3-3 with Portugal in the World Cup? Cristiano Ronaldo scored hat-trick, I believe. The whole world was going wild.
Yes. I was living in Spain, man.
Great football match. Do you know what I was doing? I was sitting there going, how the hell did we get Marcelo Bielsa? I was like, I turned to my dad. I was like, this is our club is a fucking shambles, but this is a serious fucking move. Pardon my language, everyone. It's like this is a fucking this is a statement of intent, and it's either going to go really badly, or he'll be a godlike figure at our club.
And the latter turned out. Well, with regarding, I'll be honest with you, I don't, as a Welshman, I don't really take much notice of it, but I have been keeping, talk sport and so on. I just think it has, like, to me, it has a feeling of Southgate saying, "Fuck it, it's my last tournament." Do you know what I mean? I've tried it my way. I've got everyone complaining that Rashford is included and fucking Henderson is included. Okay, let's fucking appease them. Go against my kind of loyalty players. Fuck it, it's my last chance. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I do think if anyone is getting that United job, I think it'll be Southgate.
Really? What makes you think that?
I think that because of Dan Ashford. Dan Ashworth was with Southgate throughout the England and 21s, England and the national team as well. And I think, again, it goes back to player power at United. I think Southgate has got a good relationship with the powerful players at that club, the Maguire, the Rashford. And I listen, it might just be me putting one and one together and getting 3,000. But I think look nowadays.
Is Brownie's internet gone a bit funny, or is it just me?
Right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. This hotel internet is messing around. Are you back, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Can
I
you
was
hear me?
worried it was my computer. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
No. No. We'll just finish this off just in case, mate, because it could be the internet. But basically, I think Ineos have gone in there and went to the players, right, let's work together. You're on big contracts. We know we can't get rid of you through the door. Let's just work together and come to some kind of fucking agreement. And I think it's through that kind of thing. I do think the next Man United manager is going to be Gareth Southgate. I don't know what you guys think.
I think V Drone Gaming made an amazing comment at 12:06 p.m.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, sorry guys. It is what it is, really. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Southgate?
It feels laughable. I mean, the way you've explained it, there's stranger things that could happen. Like if you say they've grabbed the core of English players and gone, who do you like? I could fully believe they may turn around and go Gareth. But at the same time, you got to keep in mind they like Southgate because they only really see him like a couple of times a year. It's like he's the holiday substitute teacher. Are they going to be as fond when he's there daily and he's asking them to do things they don't necessarily want to do? But I could be wrong. But on the surface, it does seem laughable when you look at his CV other than England. Like, oh, he had Middlesbrough job. Like, right, middling. Like, and it's a nice gig if you can get it.
Yeah,
But
no, I get it. I get it.
He's don't get me wrong. I still think they should keep Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag has done a wonderful job with them. I think he's gone from strength to strength, and I'd love to see it continue.
Yeah. No, I know stupid comments have gone in the chat for a minute. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Because I did look at this earlier. Manager special. Just for information anyway. Shit.
Sasuke, who's going to win the NBA playoff tonight? Sorry, Brownies.
No, go on.
I've gone that. I went Dallas Mavericks plus I think it's 4.5. I couldn't help it, Brownie. I can't help. I'm a sports gambler. I can't help it.
Right. Just for next Man United manager odds, right? Just for odds check. I've gone onto our odds checker. Pochettino is now 11-8 next Man United manager. De Zerbi 6-1, then Southgate 7-1. I'm actually gonna do 7-1 Southgate. I'm gonna do it right. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. 7-1 Southgate. After me winning earlier on, out of that winnings, I'm gonna check it on Southgate next Man United manager. Who's with me, lads? Who's with me? Nobody.
I still think they should just stick with what they have. I think he's done the perfect job for them that I'm looking for him to do. So, Ten Hag in.
And on that note, Ryan has just jumped in the chat. It was awesome podcast. Thanks for joining, Ryan. Much appreciated. But we are finishing now. It's over an hour. And I need to get some sleep now. It's after midnight. Right, guys, many thanks, Mr. Tom. Thank you ever so much. Bro. And yeah, thank you ever so much. And
genuine pleasure.
I'll speak to you soon, my friend. Guys in the chat, many thanks. Much appreciated. And we'll speak soon. Many thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.